Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural Ushio Bowling Championship Spectacular, coming to you live to tape from under the stars at the Hollywood Bowling Plaza Dome tent. I am the Jeraffemy Jeremy Graves, and I'll be calling the action for you today, as we have got three very worthy competitors battling it out to become the championship spectacular holder. The game today is going to be quite the test for our athletes, to say the least. We have got, in no particular order, we have got Bozo as one of our competitors. We have got Rogue Defector as the other. And, of course, we have got Ushio, who arguably is the favourite for this entire thing, given that they set up the tournament. That's not me trying to throw shade, that's just calling it like it is. I've been reliably informed that all of our competitors have been training vigorously for at least a couple of minutes before we begin this bowling. Spectacular here. And I've got some additional stats to impart on all of you as we go along, but what I will say is, please bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that these are trained professionals doing what you are doing today, so make sure you always warm up properly, because you never know, if you happen to throw a bowling ball at the wrong angle, you might, for all you know, suddenly feel a muscle strain. So please keep that in mind. Our athletes are fully warmed up and prepared, and I believe we'll be getting to the action shortly. But actually, you know what? As I say that, I can see one of the competitors about to walk by my commentary station here. So I'm going to quickly grab them and see what they have to say for themselves. So, Ushio, have you got a second? Can I get a few words from you just before we begin the bowling here?
Hello? Yeah, sure. Hello? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you? Are you ready for your inaugural bowling championship spectacular?
I'm gonna do my best, but yeah, today for some reason it's the hottest day in British weather history, so we're kind of hot today. It's not a good time.
Yeah, we should remind everyone, especially for sort of, you know, after the fact and whatnot, documenting this, that the day that this tournament is taking place, it is currently in the region of 35 degrees centigrade. So, suffice to say, it's a little bit toasty in here. Luckily next to me, have got a little desk fan to keep me somewhat moderately cool. But
there's no other aircon here. This is all we have.
Yep, I have the aircon. That is the way we are going about this. So it's fair to say out there that, you know, conditions are quite unique. That there may be some additional, you know, slip and slides happening depending on how things go. But Ushio, have you ever bowled in 35 degree weather before?
No, definitely not. So yeah, the pain is real, and I'm having a great time, and I'm eager for the challenge.
There we go. Well, the tournament's going to be getting underway momentarily, so do you have any final words for your competitors to strike fear into their hearts before we kick things off?
I hope I can make them feel shame.
Can I ask, why shame? Have they each done something to you? Is it one that's made you think that the tournament is the time to get my comeback? I will have vengeance during this tournament. Obviously polite vengeance, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we've all known each other for years, so I think all our grudges are fairly deep and entrenched by this point. So yeah, we're just mutual frenemies by this point.
There you go, and I will inquire, because I feel it necessary as my role here as a broadcast journalist. Have you got any special techniques you've been working on that you might be able to tease here, or are you anticipating that your opponents may have developed some special techniques in the few minutes of bowling practice that they had before we're beginning?
I think my biggest challenge was kind of tearing off my skin so I could fit my fingers inside the bowling holes. So I think that was my preparation for the tournament, for the competition.
Does that provide you with extra grip or less grip?
Yeah, normally I've got quite fluffy hands, so I had to get rid of all of that. All the fluff off my hands has gone, and that's how I can bowl now. But yeah, the other guys, they've all done their secret training. Obviously, we're in a competition. I don't know quite what they've done, so I'm kind of scared what they're going to put out.
Well, you know, like in most anime, you know, we have to have a tournament arc at some point, and we have to have training montages. I don't know if we're going to have that for copyright reasons today, training montages, but suffice to say, everyone has effectively had their own equivalent of a training montage.
Definitely. We were all out in the car park doing it before the venue opened.
I wonder what the venue was thinking before they opened up today. But either way, with that being said, thank you very much, Ushio. I shall let you prepare for your first round of action. And folks, stay tuned because we'll be right back as the inaugural Ushio Bowling Championship Spectacular gets underway here at the Under the Stars at the Hollywood Bowling Plaza Dome Tent Spectacular venue. This is going to be spectacular. Well, folks, we are just about ready to get underway here. A quick little bit of housekeeping for you. The order of bowling, it has been decided via coin toss. It's going to be Bozo, then Rogue Defector, then Ushio. And in terms of what you can expect today, we've got a 10-round game, 1 game for the tournament, and we are going by traditional standard bowling rules as noted by the international recognized bowling committees of the world. So no house rules here, if you will. We're going by standard traditional rules. And I can see Bozo starting to prepare for the first bowl. So you'll see the inaugural bowl of this inaugural Ushio Bowling Championship Spectacular taking place momentarily. Right, I believe we're about to go round 1. As I mentioned, Bozo there, getting set up and ready. We're going to do our best to provide you with a multi-camera feed here today as well, but due to the extreme heat, we're hoping our equipment will not be impacted by that. So here we go. First bowl. Oh, straight down the gutter on the left-hand side. Now, sometimes things like this can happen. Sometimes what people have done in the past is they've used the first bowl just to kind of get a feel for things in the tournament setting, because when you're just bowling casually and warming up, that's one thing, but when you're in a tournament setting, the pressure mounts up. So nothing to be afraid of. Can still get a spare if they can land the second bowl. Here we go. Oh, that's better, that's better. Oh, I went into the gutter at the last moment, and Bozo knew that instantly as well. You saw that by the reaction there. So that's a 0 in the first round here. Not the start that they would have been hoping for, to say the least, but it's not the end of the world. Up next will be Rogue Defector. We will see how their first bowl will be going in this Championship Spectacular final. And again, factor in everybody. In fact, we can see our second camera here getting into motion, as it were. Now what ball is Rogue Defector going to choose? They're weighing up the options there. You can see that. Oh, hang on. I think, yeah, okay, so we've gone for that one there. Now it's going to be a mixture of power and speed we are going for here. So let's see how they do this. You can see them lining up the shot here. Preparing. Here we go. Oh, look at that. That's really, really good. Oh, a little bit of a spin at the last moment and ultimately gets 1 pin. But you know what, though? Gotta give him credit. That was looking spectacular, no pun intended, as that was going down the lane. But the little bit of the last spin there, ultimately the undoing for that not being worth more pins. Oh, I think we just had a little pitch invasion if you saw that there. Apologies, folks. Apologies for that. Right, here we go. Second bowl. As we're lining up the shot once again. Oh, trying to utilize that spin. Ah, the spin didn't come soon enough, unfortunately. But either way, Rogue Defector is on the board with 1 pin. And up next will be the namesake of this tournament. It is Ushio going to the lane. And again, folks, got to keep in mind here, we've got the extreme heat kind of causing unique conditions here. When it comes to the spinning element of things, that is likely affecting the wood of the lane as well. So if our competitors today were going to try and utilize more of spin-based techniques when it comes to their bowling, that could be hampered somewhat. But here is Ushio, up to lane. Oh, launches it down! And that's a heck of a good bowl. That is a heck of a good bowl there. We've got 8 on the scoreboard. That is a very strong start from Ushio there. And I bet they'll be very happy with that. I won't interrupt them before they do their second bowl, just to make sure. But I'm definitely going to try and get some comments from Ushio in a few moments' time to see how they feel. Second bowl. That's looking good. Oh, just skims past. No dice on that second bowl, but I'm going to try and get some words. Ushio, have you got a second there?
Yo, what's up?
I've got to say, that first bowl, really, really great stuff there. Did you have a particular technique in mind, and how are you feeling about that?
it's just a case of getting it to the end without hitting the gutter. First round jitters and all that, you got to get that first pin down there.
Yeah, and I think you've made a good statement of intent there as well, as we can see Bozo getting ready for their second round here. You've made a strong statement after arguably not the best start from your opponent.
I'll do what I can to capitalise on that.
There you go. Alright, so Bozo preparing now. Winding up. Throws it down. Oh, we've got another gutter ball. My word, they will not be happy with that. And you can see from their body language, they are gutted by that as well. Again, no partial pun intended there. So they're going to have to reevaluate their strategy, because that's now 3 successful bowls with 0 on the counter.
They got the mask on now, so they're taking it seriously.
Yeah, you can see that there. And oh, straight on, sorry, our cameras nearly didn't catch that. Launches it down, straight down the middle. Oh, that is a very strong bowl right there. The scoreboard indicates 8, and you can see a little bit of a celebration there. That was the statement that was very much needed there. Bozo now on the board with 8. And it's got to be said as well, Rogue Defector now has got to make a bit of a statement as well. They were the only one on the board until Ushio hit the bowl themselves. So Rogue Defector now, knowing the pressure that is underway very early into this game. Here we go. Launches it down. And we're looking good there. Oh, very, very strong. I think I see 2 pins remaining. Yep, so that is 8 on the scoreboard. Everyone has bowled an 8 now. Strong statement of intent from everybody so far. But of course, this round isn't over for Rogue Defector. Can they knock down the additional 2 pins to get that spare? Launches it down. Oh, I think the spin... I think they tried to employ a little bit of a spin technique there. Ultimately was their undoing. But either way, very, very strong stuff there. Currently in the lead as things stand before Ushio steps up. We've got Rogue Defector on 9 points total. Now, as we can see here, Ushio getting ready. Got a unique multi-camera setup here. Bowls it. You saw the technique there. Oh, another very strong bowl from Ushio. I'm going to try and grab a word from Ushio, because I think I saw some technique there of trying to do a little bit of extra oomph, if you will, by really planting that front foot when they bowled that. So I'll be very interested to see how they implemented that as a strategy. We've got another bowl here. We're going straight on for the second bowl by the look of it. I shall keep a close eye on this. Oh, no! That was a bit too far to the left. Ushio is not at all happy with that. I'm reluctant to try and get some words now, but Ushio, sorry, can you grab a couple of words from me if you don't mind? That first bowl of yours had so much authority about it, such power, but unfortunately, when it came to your second bowl just then, it was a little bit too far to the left, wasn't it?
I just overcooked it. Tried too hard.
Oh, in fact, I'm sorry to cut you off, Ushio. Bozo straight back in the field there, launches it down to the end. Gets a couple there on the left-hand side. Ultimately, we've got a 5 registered there. From my vantage point here, I thought that was actually less. So fair play to Bozo there. Clearly taking out a lot of the back line there that we could not see from our vantage point. Now stepping up for their second bowl. Oh, that's looking good down the center there. Oh, look at that. Clears the lane. That is a spare. And we've got a dynamic replay for you here now. As you can see, perfectly placed bowling there. That is what we like to see here at the inaugural Ushio Bowling Championship Spectacular. Wonderful stuff there. And now Rogue Defector has got to follow that. Things are certainly spicing up here. Of course, we are under the stars. Oh, and we've got our sort of second camera view now in play. Now, I imagine there's probably a little bit of tension here, and Rogue Defector perhaps taking a little bit more time than anticipated. I think that's probably a bit of a mind game move there. It's kind of a, I don't need to worry move. I'm just going to do my thing. Watch me. And let's see what they do. Oh, my word. I'm not sure if that was the mind game they were thinking of, but they're laughing about it. So clearly, they've got a grand plan in mind there. But that is what I would call an early gutter ball, as it were. I'm sure not intentional, but that said, from the cheeky smile I saw there, maybe it was. So, Oh, that's good. It's going down the center. It's going a little bit to the left. But ultimately, oh, that's a beautiful bowl there. That's very, very strong. That was tremendous stuff there. And arguably, Ushio going to be feeling the pressure now on their bowl. Of course, Ushio's bowling style described by themselves as desperate. So we'll see if that bowl then is going to cause a desperate type of play here. Oh, that's a bit to the right-hand side. Oh, it was in the gutter just before the end. I think the desperation there may have got the better of Ushio for a second there. But the gutter ball stylings of the Rogue Defector have come into play here, and I think that the mind games are well and truly working out here. Ushio of the second bowl, straight down the center. Oh, leaves, I think, one pin there for my Vant. Yes, that is correct, according to the scoreboard. A score of 9. Ushio with a very strong second bowl there, which was very much needed after that inaugural gutter bowl there. Some great, great action there, and as Bozo is about to step up, I wish I could tell you more of what Bozo's style was going to be, but admittedly, on the information sheet which I was supplied from Bozo themselves, they had conveniently dropped some tea on their card they were going to hand to me. Therefore, I will simply anticipate they are going to go all out on their bowling style. That is how I'm going to interpret the way they are bowling. As you can see, Bozo is stepping up here. Let's see. Oh, that's a big wine. Oh, that wasn't just a bowl. That was a launch, and that's a strike. My word. Now, there was a very definitive stance there. You saw the sort of the wind up, the wide angle bowl. That was a statement of intent, and you can see they are delighted about that. Bozo very, very happy there. Maybe this was part of the plan. You know, I couldn't perhaps divulge some of other information, so we couldn't fully understand their bowling style. If it was, and I wasn't wrong about it being all out ultimately, was I? That was a very good power play, and it is all on the Rogue Defector now, as they are getting ready to head to the lane for their 4th round bowl. Step up, as it were. There we go. Oh, no, it's gone into the gutter, as it were. Oh, I'm not sure if they wanted to do that. They don't look particularly happy about that. Oh, it's all coming a little bit undone here. I think that Bozo's strike just then has perhaps played far more mind games than the mind games of Rogue Defector could unleash onto their opponents. Here they go again. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. That's a little bit to the right. They got a few there. They got the one, excuse me. I thought that was more than one there from my vantage point, but that is a 1 on the board there. They're going to want to do much better than that, as Ushio is now getting ready to head to the lane. Oh, low angle stance there from Ushio. Oh, that was very, very well done there. We've got a 7 on the board. Ushio not looking entirely happy about that, but I think they need to give themselves more credit. I'll try and grab some comments from them in a few moments, but I think that was a very, very smart play, the way they tried to implement that. Ultimately took out pins on both sides of the lane, which it can arguably be very difficult to do. So now they can get it straight down the middle there to get those 3 remaining. That'll be a crucial spare. Oh, gets 2 of them, but doesn't get the other. Ushio on the board there. I'll see if I can kind of grab some words in a second. Ushio.
Hey.
Very, very strong bowl there, it's got to be said. I'm not sure how perhaps the strike of Bozo maybe impacted your mindset on the bowl, but a very strong round just then.
Yeah, it's a real declaration that they've thrown out. I just need to keep up. And I missed. Couldn't finish up that last round.
And Bozo up now. Oh, launches it once again. You saw the ball just ricochet off the lane there. Ultimately gets the 3. Bozo perhaps thinking they could try and get another strike there. They may have let go of the ball a little bit too early or late, depending on how things were with the technique. So as we do this once again. Oh, tries to go for it again, a little bit too far to the left, and it's in the gutter. Bozo will not be happy about following up with the strike on that. That said, that strike, though, has given them quite the advantage at the moment, as they are up 44 on the board. And as Rogue Defector is getting ready now to take the lane, what are they going to do? They've got the power. They've got the mind games to their advantage here, but the mind games so far haven't really worked out. Oh, no! Another early gutter ball, my word! It is not working out here at the Championship Bowling Spectacular here. Oh, I feel sorry for Rogue Defector. They've had an unbelievable season of a few minutes before bowling here to get ready for this tournament final. Here we go. Oh, I'll try to replicate it the other way. Yeah, this round is not going well for Rogue Defector. I feel sorry for them. But they've got time to regroup. There is still plenty of time to make an impact in this tournament. That's the thing to remember, folks. And as Ushio is now stepping up, we can see a certain stance about them. Oh, went low, and I think I saw the little backspin there as well. Oh, and that works to their advantage. The backspin bowl working out as a 9 on the board for Ushio. Very, very strong stuff there. But now, can they get the all-important one remaining pin? Oh, that's going to be really, really close. Oh, it's just a little bit too far to the right. Ends up in the gutter. But Ushio there, the power level of 6 cheeseburgers really working out when it comes to hitting that 9. Ushio, I'm going to grab you again for a second there. That 9, another strong statement of intent for you. That's 3 9s in a row now you've ultimately had in your past 3 rounds.
Yeah, I just need to get better finishing at it, but almost. I'm getting closer. I can feel it. I'm getting closer, but Bozo's not making it easy, and the pressure's. I feel bad for Rogue. I'm glad I'm not directly after Bozo. The pressure's real.
You're not wrong about that. And speaking of Bozo, they are stepping up to the lane, getting ready for their next round. But in fact, actually, we've got to get Bozo to hold off there, actually, because I'm being told we're going to take a short break for a moment here, which, if anything, Rogue Defector could probably use that to their advantage. So what we'll do, actually, folks, is we'll check in on the actual scores as things stand, while some things are getting reset behind the scenes, if you will, just to tidy up a few things. So in fact, you know what? I'm going to grab Ushio and just disrupt their game thinking, because at the moment they're in a good standing, so I think they'll be happy to speak with me. Ushio, can I just grab you again for a second?
No problem. Yep.
So, how do you evaluate the first half of the game from your perspective so far? What are your feelings about your own performance, and as well the statement of intent from your competitors?
I think I've been doing okay. I wish I could have had like a bit more of a finishing skill. I seem to often miss on the second bowl, but hopefully it will come in time. Bozo's really come out fighting, and I think it's kind of had a big impact on me and Rogue. And yeah, I'm very hot, and I'm kind of suffering under this, but these are treacherous conditions to be competing under.
I would love to get comments from our other 2 competitors as well, but they are very much focused on their game. But given you are the namesake of this tournament, I know you wanted to be available for comments as and when you could be available. So we really appreciate you still speaking to us, Ushio, because quite frankly, you have every right to just not want to speak to me at this point and just want to focus on the next round.
Yeah. This is a serious business. I'll keep my focus.
There you go. And as mentioned at the top of the show, folks, it's a 10-round game, so we are halfway through. This is one game to determine the tournament winner. Bozo is winding up for round 6, getting straight back into the action, launches the ball, it bounces off the lane. Oh, and it's another strike! My word! I think even they're slightly shocked about that. You saw in the replay that the ball landed very early in the lane. Sometimes that can dictate the flow of the ball's movement, but ultimately, they got the strike. And that is a key statement driver there. And as we were talking to Ushio during the intermission there, that is not what they wanted. They flat out said Bozo is the one to beat. And now, what on earth is Rogue Defector thinking? They had their mind games worked out. They had it all in their brain how they were going to play this game. And you could argue it's totally come unglued, but they've still got the opportunity to get back in this. As they wind up the shot. Oh, there's a little bit of right spin there. I can see that. That's back in the lane. And they get on the board. That's the main thing ultimately. It might only be a 1, but 1 is better than none. That could be crucial come later in the game. So now they're going up for their second round here. Second attempt in this round, excuse me. Oh, that's very well done. That's going straight down the center. Oh, that's a really strong bowl there. That is a spare. And as you can see on our dynamic replay here, that was never going to go in any other direction. That is the statement of intent that Rogue Defector has been wanting and very much needed. Excellent bowling there. And that has brought them back into this game. And up next will be Ushio. How has that strike in fact impacted them by Bozo? Oh, it was a little bit to the right there. They still got some of the left-hand pins. Probably wasn't exactly what they were wanting. But a 6 on the board is still pretty crucial at this point. I think they really need to try and land this spare, though. Especially given what Bozo did. Ushio assessing the look of the lane by the look of it after what I said at halftime. Oh, and misses the pin. Not at all happy with that. You saw the physical reaction there. Oh, I'll try and get some words from Ushio in just a moment. But in fact, here it is. Ushio.
Hey. Yeah.
I've got to say that strike from Bozo coming right out of the gate from half-time was probably not what you were expecting. Did that?
Yeah, that was pretty
impact
killer. That was pretty killer. And just now, my tail kind of threw me off balance, so I really struggled that time.
Yeah. Oh, in fact, sorry to cut you off here, but here comes Bozo straight into round 7. Oh, that's right down the middle once again. Oh my word, look at that. That is a 9. Ushio, I dread to think what you're thinking right now. I won't press you for a comment. But either way, Bozo is flying in this second half of the game. They've already had a spare and 2 strikes, and now they've just hit the 9. If they can land this 1, that puts them in a very commanding position. Let's see what they're going to do. Oh, it's a little bit too far to the left, I think. Yeah, it's ultimately ended up in the gutter, but you know what? You cannot argue with that. That strike and then the 9 puts them at a very commanding 72. Now, Rogue Defector's got to pull out something special once again like they did in the last round. Arguably the half-time break being very much welcomed from their point of view to reassess the situation of the game and what their game plan throughout the remainder of this is going to be. You can see Ushio offering some words of encouragement there. Oh, is it just going to be enough? Oh, it just drops to the gutter at the last second. Not at all what Rogue Defector was wanting. Some might call into question there whether Ushio should have actually been on the lane alongside Rogue Defector. But perhaps it's just their way of trying to encourage each other to try and catch up to Bozo at this point, because they've got such a commanding lead. I won't say unexpectedly, but certainly very much just taken that lead. Here we go, second bowl. Oh, that's much better. That's much better from Rogue Defector. Straight down the center. Oh, and leaves 2 pins on there, I believe. Gets a strong 8, and that is very much needed. And depending how Ushio does in this round, still puts them in a decent spot to, at the very least, try and get ultimately into second place. But that said, Ushio is no slouch, as we have established. What are they going to do now? This is a big statement round for Ushio. Does the bowl, does a bit of the backspin there, I saw that. Oh, 7-9 split, are you kidding me? My word. 2 pins left on the board. I don't know whether they're going to be able to hit both of them down, but that is a very, very strong 8 to say the least. As you can see, a word from our sponsor on the big screen there. But either way, Ushio has bowled it. It's gone for the right-hand side. Oh, in fact, they get both of them. My word. That is tactics at its absolute finest. And as you can see on a dynamic replay, skimmed literally the side of the pin to be able to launch it across to get the other. That is how you do bowling. That's what a power level of 6 cheeseburgers can get you, folks. Take note of that. Now, Ushio, I've got to grab you here. That was phenomenal play. Can you talk us through your mindset on that?
Honestly, a split like that, you can't you can't really predict. You aim for the one and hope for the best.
There you go. Sometimes less is more. But, oh, Bozo straight back up again. Bozo not messing around. I think they were annoyed by that split because look at what they've just done. Straight down the gutter. That is not good. That said, they've still got a commanding lead, but they've got to make this second bowl count now. Launches it once again. It's a little bit to the left, I think. Oh, we get a little bit of a ricochet. Wait, how many just went down? That was an 8. My word. Now, I'm not sure if that was intentional. Bozo's reaction would make you think it wasn't, but either way, a strong 8. The last 3 rounds, strike 9 and 8. That is a very, very good round there. And now Rogue Defector. Up on the lane. Getting ready, winds up. Reevaluates just before. That was probably a good decision. That's really, really good. It's a little bit to the left. Look at that. Really, really strong stuff there. That's a very solid 5 there. That's the kind of thing they've been wanting to do on their first bowl of each round. Let's see if Rogue Defector can capitalize on this. I think the words of encouragement from Ushio have clearly had an impact there. So let's see how they do on their second bowl. Ushio once again being there for them. Gives it a ball. They're going for the far corner on the left. Ah, hits the gutter. That's a shame. But either way, that 5 was very much needed. Do not count out the fact they got the 5. That will put them in good stead for later on. And Rogue Defector there having some choice words for our cameraman there, I believe. We'll have to speak to our production crew about that, so I apologize anyway. Apologize, everybody, excuse me. Ushio steps up. Oh, launches it down. Oh, and that's a strike, everybody! My word! Talk about statements. Here, once again, is the replay. You can see the tremendous amount of spin and the launching it pretty much a third to a halfway down the lane. Ushio is flipping delighted. Not flipping quite literally, but very, very delighted nonetheless.
That was good.
Oh, there you go. So much so celebrating to the camera. That's what we like to see. Ushio, I've got to grab you again. That strike, my word, did you need that?
I totally did. A strike is essentially what everybody wants in a bowling game, and I was finally able to sink one. I'm really happy with that.
Tremendous stuff. And now, you could argue it's all to play for, and it's all on Bozo now. Talk about pressure. Now, what are they going to do here? They're stepping up, taking a little bit more time than usual. Launches it down onto the lane there. Spins a little bit back to the left after nearly being in the gutter, and ultimately gets a 3. Probably not exactly what they were wanting, but as I say, anything is better than nothing. And now they're evaluating what balls they have at their disposal. Now they've opted for that one. Let's see how this works out in this round for them. Launches it down. Going down the lanes a little bit to the left. Gets the 1, I believe. That brings them up to 84. We'll see how that comes into play because Ushio's strike in the previous round has potentially just ripped up the scorecard into something else. We'll see how ultimately that plays out following Ushio's round. And Rogue Defector, I think, probably realizes at this point it's going to take something incredibly special to get back into contention for this title. But either way, they are still playing. That's another solid bowl there. End up spinning a little bit to the right there. And that was ultimately a 0. Very, very unlucky for them. You can see the look on their face there. They're not at all happy about that. But they're still playing. That's the main thing. Sometimes, folks, it is the taking part that counts the most. And being part of the inaugural Ushio Bowling Championship Spectacular is a great honor in and of itself. Well, that's very, very strong. Going to try and spin back to the right. Ah, just a little bit too much left spin, I believe, there. Not a good round there by Rogue Defector, but they're still taking part, and again, that is what matters the most. But now, Ushio steps up, and we arguably have an incredibly crucial round here before we head into the final rounds of the game here. The final round, excuse me. What has Ushio got up their sleeve? They wind up. Oh, nice low stance there. It's going down the center. It's gone a little bit to the left. Ultimately, a little bit too much to the left, but gets them a solid 7. How crucial will that be? Can they get a spare in this second bowl of round 9? Oh, they're going straight for it. Oh, it's coming back, is it? Ah, just a little bit too much to the left. But that 7 has now changed the game completely almost. Ushio has taken the lead going into the next round. And that is all the pressure on Bozo, to say the least. My word, I don't think we could have predicted this being so close. But, oh, in fact, sorry, Bozo straight back up there. Oh, what a statement from Bozo. That's a strong, solid 7. Bozo clearly just not wanting to muck around here. Just wants to finish off this game. Wants to capture the championship. Now, what are they going to do? Here we go. They wind up. Oh, let go of it a bit early there. But they get the 1 ultimately. Their final score is 92, everybody. They are currently tied with Ushio. Now, we'll come back to what Ushio may or may not do in just a few seconds, because Rogue Defector is up next for their final round here. Now, can they make a strong statement here for being involved? I think Ushio trying to assess the situation as well from their point of view. Oh, it's a little bit too much to the right, but it's hanging on. Ah, just drops off at the last possible moment. Rogue Defector, they're trying their best. You gotta feel for them. You gotta feel for them. But either way, they are still putting on a good show, it has got to be said. Really, really trying to do their best. And ultimately as well, demonstrating some great techniques there, which perhaps with a bit more development could turn them into a game changer long term. Bowls again. Well, that's going down the centre. That's looking really nice. It's a little bit to the left. Oh, it strikes right at the front and centre. Ultimately gets them a 6, which puts them on a final score of 47. Fair play to Rogue Defector there. That was a really, really nice bit of technique there, as I was alluding to just before that final round. And, oh, we can see a tail there. I think that's Ushio's tail. Oh, it's getting very close to our cameraman now. We've got to be careful. Oh, in fact, I think they may have just knocked the camera. But either way, Ushio is stepping up. Ushio means business. Launches it down there. It's a bit far to the right, but ultimately gets a 5. Well, folks, we know what that means, but that doesn't mean that Ushio is done yet. Is it time to put the icing on the cake? Is it time for Ushio just to have this just be a bowl for the sake of it? Arguably, yes, but it doesn't matter because, ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new inaugural Ushio Bowling Championship Spectacular Champion of Champions, crowned here at Under the Stars at the Hollywood Bowling Plaza Dome Tent, your winner is Ushio. And you can see Bozo there, joining in the spirits, knows it was a close game between those two. Rogue Defector, very much enjoyed being part of it, but I'm sure they're going to want to try and get their reputation back up after that round. There will be another opportunity for a rematch, don't you worry. But now I'm going to try and get some words from Ushio themselves. Ushio, champ, as it were. The champ is here. Ushio, how are you feeling?
Pretty good. I was able to get my strike that I wanted, so that was the main thing. And that split was, you can't predict that. But I'm really happy with how I performed in that second half.
Your second half was very, very solid. That spare was crucial, and that ultimately and arguably inspired you to hit that strike, because that strike was the game changer, quite literally. And as a very famous champion by the name of John Cena once said, your time is now. You are the champion.
Thank you very much. It was quite close, actually. I was really, really worried for a long time. But yeah, fair play to the other guys. They really put in their all. They really pushed everybody's best, I think.
Definitely, and I guess from your point of view as being as part of the organising committee of this tournament, the inaugural Ushio Bowling Championship Spectacular. It's been a tremendous event. What are your thoughts on the event overall, and could we perhaps see a return of the championship in the future?
Hopefully, if there are people out there who want to challenge me, perhaps maybe there could be another edition of this. But we'll just have to see. No one knows the future. Just like no one knew how this game was gonna go. We could have just shown up on day one, and the manager of the bowling alley would just kick us out straight away. That didn't happen. So, one step at a time. Hopefully, the future will be a brighter thing for the world of Ushio Championship bowling.
There you go, folks. There you go. And obviously, a big thank you to everybody involved. Big thank you to all of our competitors here today. From myself, the Jeraffemy, Jeremy Graves, from our 3 competitors, Bozo, Rogue Defector, and the champ, Ushio. Thank you very much for watching Ushio Championship Bowling. We have been live to tape at Under the Stars at the Hollywood Bowling Plaza Dome Tent. From all of us, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.